Hey everyone, welcome back to the Commander's Codex. Today we're going to be looking at my Alistair the Brigadier deck, called This Deck Belongs in a Museum.
You got a lot of history with this deck?
A lot of history, some legends from across Magic's history. You know, Robot Dog, Spider-Man. More importantly though, everything in this deck is historically significant. Well, I guess first we'll take a look at our commander, Alistair the Brigadier. He is a 3/3 legendary creature human soldier. He costs 1 green, white, and blue. And he says, whenever you cast a historic spell, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Historic spells are artifacts, legendaries, and sagas. Then he says, whenever Alistair attacks, you may pay 8. If you do, creatures you control get +X until end of turn, where X is the number of historic permanents you control.
Ooh.
You did hear that right. It is historic permanents.
It is.
Not historic spells.
Right.
So, this deck is designed around nearly every spell in it is designed to trigger Alistair. Thus, they're all legendary creatures or artifacts. There's a couple instant sorceries and the like sprinkled in, to actually make the deck function.
No sagas, I noticed.
No sagas. I don't think it worked too well with everything else Alistair was doing. But the goal is to cast a bunch of historic spells, build up a massive board just through incidental value, then turn your board sideways and pay Alistair's 8 to buff everything by a lot. That's one of the reasons that we have 21 pieces of ramp in this deck. A little higher than normal.
Goodness gracious.
So we're looking at some of these ramp. Some of your classic, we got Soul Ring, Arcane Signet. We got the Azorius Signets. But we also went and got Cryptolith rights. So our soldiers will also tap for mana. We'll keep letting us cast some more spells. Some of the better just land ramp, like Farseek, Kodama's Reach.
Yes.
But we did primarily stick to artifact ramp. We got cards like Gilded Lotus, so the 5 mana tap to add 3 mana of any one color. Also some legendary creature ramp in there with ones like Jaheira and Inga and Eska. Jaheira says tokens you control have tap, add a green. Inga and Eska said creatures you control have vigilance and tap, add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a creature spell. So hopefully even while you are ramping, you are creating more soldiers to then help you ramp more and also hit harder.
Right. Funny enough, I kind of like Storvold, Frost Giant Jarl. It's not really a card I think you see as often, but I think in this deck it works pretty well.
He's a pretty one.
Yep. He is a 4 white, green, and a blue 7/7 with Ward 3 that gives all of your other creatures Ward 3 as well.
All other creatures.
Yeah, I think it's pretty solid and annoying. And when he enters or attacks, you can choose from one of the following. You can give a creature base power and toughness 7/7 until end of turn, or you can give a creature base power and toughness 1/1.
It actually says choose one or both.
Really?
It does.
That's even better.
So you can turn one of your 1/1s into a 7/7, then turn one of your opponent's big 7/7s into a 1/1.
Yeah. I think it's a very funny card for this deck. It gives you a 1/1 automatically to utilize and make a 7/7 when you cast him.
Yeah, he's a legendary creature. He gives you your 1/1.
Yep.
He enters, he can turn that 1/1 right into a 7/7 or make your opponent something smaller and immediately protects everything on your board. I especially like if you pair him with Peter Parker.
Yes.
Because Peter Parker is a 0/1 for 1 and a white. When Peter Parker enters, create a 2/1 green spider creature token with reach. But you may cast him or transform him as the Amazing Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man is 1 green, white, blue for a 4/4 legendary creature with vigilance and reach. It says, each legendary spell you cast that's 1 or more colors has web swinging for green, white, blue. So if you simply pair Storvold up with the Amazing Spider-Man, you can have a 7/7 entering for 3 mana, possibly buffing something for you to just throw somewhere and make something else even smaller.
Yes, very nice in cheating out more expensive cards.
We also got a little bit cheeky with some of the things. Like we said, we tried to make nearly everything a historic spell. So even one of our anthems, Flowering of the White Tree, is a legendary enchantment. And since it's legendary, that means that it is a historic spell. And Flowering of the White Tree says, legendary creatures you control get +2/+1 and have ward 1. Non-legendary creatures you control get +1/+1. So, pretty simple, but gives you a 1/1, and it buffs and protects your commander and buffs the 1/1 that you get. Then we spared no expense when making the land base either, because we threw in our Darksteel Citadel, we threw in Razortide Bridge, all of the lands that are artifact lands. Because if we look back at Alistair here, it says, when he attacks, you may pay 8. If you do, creatures you control get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of historic permanents you control. And an artifact land is in fact a historic permanent.
This is true. So your land base almost acts as a doubler for those specifically. So it's almost like they're producing 2 mana in that case.
So he is designed to turn sideways and make your opponent go, why is it suddenly big? Why is a museum flying at me? We have a couple fun tricks in the deck as well. We got Tanazir Quandrix. Why does Quandrix have a first name? Doesn't need a first name. It's a 4/4 legendary creature Elder Dragon for 3 green-blue. Already we have legendary creature, so we get a 1/1 with it. It's good enough. It has flying and trample. When Quandrix enters the battlefield, double the number of +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. We don't care about that part. That part doesn't matter. More importantly, it says, whenever Quandrix attacks, you may have the base power and toughness of other creatures you control become equal to Quandrix's power and toughness until end of turn. And just alone, he's a 4/4. And that's not counting all the different ways we have to buff just all the creatures in this deck, which would include him.
True.
If we just have Quandrix and Flowering of the White Tree out, Flowering of the White Tree makes Quandrix a 6/5, which turns all of the 1/1 soldiers into 6/5s. We also have Kamal, Heart of Krosa, who, he's expensive. He's 6 green for a 5/5. It's a little rough. But legendary creature Human Druid, so you get your 1/1 with him. Then at the beginning of combat on your turn, creatures you control get +3/+3 and gain trample until end of turn. So if you pair Kamal with Quandrix, you move to combat, Kamal gives Quandrix +3/+3, makes him a 7/7. Then Quandrix attacks, makes all of your soldiers now base power and toughness 7/7. And then Kamal gives them +3/+3 on top of that, so your soldiers are now 10/10s with trample. So then we also have several cards who are here to take advantage of being in such a niche area of historic spells. For example, we have Jadit Ojanin. Listen, we're gonna put a picture on the screen. I don't know how to say his name.
He's a cat.
He is a cat. He's a 3/3 for 1 white/blue. Kinda almost works as a secondary commander here. Says, whenever Jadit or another legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay a green. If you do, create a 2/2 green cat warrior creature token with Forest Walk. So, instead of 1/1s, you're getting your 2/2s, but most of the cards in here are legendary creatures, so it is triggering him and your commander. And who can say no to a cat and a person?
It's true. More bodies.
And we're also running Yavimile Crater Growth just because like we're in green, why would we not? And if our cats have Forest Walk.
And they have Forest Walk.
Like that's just value.
And guess what? If they get buffed, as you were saying earlier, from Quandrix or Kamal, they still have Forest Walk. So now you've just got 7/7s or something with Forest Walk that just can't be blocked.
It's beautiful.
It is.
Speaking of can't be blocked, We also have several ways to make sure that our 1/1s, once they're huge, will actually get over the blockers. So we have Old One-Eye, which we are playing vary a lot because it says other creatures you control have trample. We talked about Kamal, who gives all of your other things trample. We do play one tutor in this deck. Jacob, you were wrong. We have one Saga in the deck.
We do. The Saga is the Huntsman's Redemption. It's 2 and a green. Its first chapter, its first segment, says create a 3/3 green beast creature token. The second chapter says you may sacrifice a creature. If you do, search your library for a creature or basic land card, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle. And the third chapter says up to 2 target creatures each get +2/+2 and gain trample until end of turn.
So the Huntsman's Redemption, we are mainly playing for that second ability, where it says you may sacrifice a creature. So we sacrifice one of our little 1/1 soldiers, and then we search our library for a creature card or basic land. So if you really need a forest, like go ahead and grab a forest, I guess. But you'd find a creature card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. So you could go out and get Old One-Eye or Kamal, Heart of Krosa. And Kamal, again, gives all your 1/1s +3/+3 and trample. For the low value of a 1/1 soldier that you already made by casting the Saga, you could get a big boy that likes to make your other boys big boys.
Another option that could be used for trample, if you're considering it, is Surak and Goreclaw, which is a legendary creature. It's 4 green for a 6/5 with trample. Human bear. Other creatures you control have trample. And whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on it. It gains haste until end of turn. So it doesn't help necessarily with the tokens, but that's not necessarily what you're caring about fully with that card. It kind of helps a bit with everything.
Also, just being in historic spells, every single card in our deck that is classified under card advantage triggers the historic cast. We have Esper Sentinel, who is an artifact creature. We have Toski, Bearer of Secret, Skull Clamp, Shana, Purifying Blade, Bite into Thassa, which is a legendary enchantment, Edric, Skymaster of Trest, Esper Sentinel as an artifact creature, Hero's Podium, which is out here to mainly for the first ability where it says each legendary creature you control gets +1/+1 for each other legendary creature you control. But you get late in the game, for X mana and tap it, look at the top X cards of your library. You may reveal a legendary creature card from among them and put it into your hand. That's card advantage.
Pretty good all around.
So everything you're going to want to do in this deck does try to trigger Alistair. One big warning, you're going to want to protect Alistair. He kind of makes the deck
It's important
go
to have
whir.
your commander.
The important part is that this deck belongs in a museum. It's incredibly
This deck
valuable.
is the museum.
This deck is incredibly valuable, even though it's not all the shiny cards you could possibly own. From the artifacts on display to the legendary creatures protecting the artifacts.
I mean, if you're running that Surak and Goreclaw,
You're just making deck upgrades now.
maybe. This card's not even real yet. But you could also run this bear that would work in the deck, which is Bjorn the Fierce.
Bjorn.
Or I believe that's how it's pronounced.
BJORN?
Nope.
Aw.
BEORN, literally Bjorn.
Born.
Yeah. I don't know how else to describe that. It's 3 green for a 6/6 bear shapeshifter warrior with trample that says other bears you control get +2/+2. But at the beginning of combat on your turn, put a trample counter on up to 1 target creature you control. It becomes a bear in addition to its other types forever. Then, if you control 3 or more bears, draw 2 cards.
Yes, it's all about this museum's priceless collection coming to life and beating everyone to death for imprisoning it in a museum.
It's a deck that can go wide. You make a lot of tokens.
It's pretty good against like Voltron decks.
You're just getting incremental value from just playing the game at that point if you're keeping him.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the Commander's Codex as we talked about Alistair the Brigadier. We will be leaving this deck list and the Architect link down in the description below. Please let us know if you have any questions about the deck. And thank you for sharing the video and getting us out there. Until next time, Commander Codex, out.